Don't mind me playing a video game that I made. A lot of people don't know about that. Hey, I'm Chris from Airwindows, and hey, you can do this. Because this is Airwindows SlewSonic. Now you might ask, what the heck is that? Well, it's a fair question. I have been a busy guy over the last week, up to all kinds of things. Among them, check it out, I changed my guitars around a little bit. The one with the whammy bar now has the Strat pickups on it. There's a lot of stuff I'm trying to get together, getting more into the zone of, doing music again and all that kind of thing. But SlewSonic should hold you for a plugin for the week. And I am hoping to continue to do my the kick drum synthesizer thing that I've got going on. I might be able to finish that this coming Monday. And SlewSonic is another experiment. Here, I'll show you. What this is a filter, right? It is a filter, but it's not just a regular filter, because this is using SlewOnly in a way where the experiment here is SlewOnly nonlinear? Now you might ask what SlewOnly is. It is a filter that basically just works by taking the signal, whatever the change between one sample and the previous sample is. You are taking that and keeping only the change and throwing out what the basic sound was. So that means it starts sounding kind of like this. But this is an interesting sort of roll-off, because the roll-off that you get is, well, it's not the steepest roll-off in the world, and it's a very simple algorithm. Like, there's not much calculations here. So what do you do if you have this very simple thing? You experiment with ultrasonic filtering to see whether the sound of it is we're going to go and look for SlewOnly. See, here is SlewOnly. SlewOnly is purely a featureless plugin, and all that it does is this calculation of taking the signal that's coming in, and what you get out is only the change between the signal coming in and the next sample. And that sounds like this. Turn it back off. Now the deal with that is there's no controls to it because it's just a simple process. But my question becomes, is this nonlinear? Is this a sort of thing where we need to apply ultrasonic filtering to get rid of aliasing? And that's what SlewSonic is for. With SlewSonic, what we do is let's say that is the sound of the slew subtracting that we're doing. And we'll go back and forth between. Here is just regular SlewOnly. Does the ultrasonic filtered one sound different? I'm thinking maybe it does. But there's more, because SlewOnly is one stage of this processing. SlewSonic does the ultrasonic filtering to try to get rid of the condition of aliasing, but then it gets multiple stages going. So it is not only interacting with the highs to try to suppress aliasing, in case this process produces it, but it's also layering a bunch of stages in that way that I came up with, that is multiple dry wet stages in a row. And so you have a sweep. It does this. Now you may ask, what is this frequency control? Frequency control is basically, well, what counts as ultrasonic? So it starts at 10K, middle it defaults to 20K, and the max is 30K. So what we can do is affect the filtering based on how much supersonics you want to be let through. Here's our 30K, 20, 10. You probably can't hear much of a difference there, but the whole thing sounds kind of different from regular SlewOnly. In fact, we can A/B that a little bit just to demonstrate how it's different. See, I'm filtering 30K here. So I have it fully cranked, multiple stages of SlewOnly. Then regular SlewOnly. So it's fairly similar, as you would expect if you're not actually filtering much. But then if you crank it right down to 10K, we're now applying biquad ultrasonic filtering to cut off that stuff. And the end result, here is the original SlewOnly. And there is SlewSonic. I think it's got a slightly purer sound to it when you're doing the ultrasonic filtering compared to this very bright ultrasonic filtering, which has a sort of edge to it that is not necessarily present when we kick on SlewSonic. And an interesting side effect is that since these are in a row, and it's SlewSonic going into SlewOnly, we can magnify it even further, but we are already doing filtering. And there you have it. So this is basically just an experiment that I'm letting you have. It is sort of a trick with filtering and a plugin that I've already got that I don't think a lot of people do SlewOnly as an algorithm. It's a very simple algorithm. I feel like programmers often like to do more complicated things even when they're not good. And my hope is that it's going to be some kind of useful while I work on some other stuff. Like I have a chamber reverb in the works. There's a variety of things going on. I'm not spending all of my time playing video games that I made. I'm apparently spending all of my time rebuilding my guitars, but then that's kind of how I get to trying out these sounds. With a bit of luck, you can do things like with this, for instance. Here is actually, I'm not sure if I want that one. That is a shaker. This is a electronic hat. And so it's off of the system back here. And all by itself, I wouldn't say that that sounds all that spectacular. But what we can do is take it and throw on SlewSonic. And that gives us a range of working with this little electronic, and again, when I say electronic, I mean this is a electrical device. I think it is a Blue Lantern mini shimmery. I think that's what this one is. And it's either that or it's the Erica synth hat. And it is a Eurorack hi-hat. And it sounds all well and good, but you might want it to be brighter. And so I made a dedicated plugin for just that. For just, let's take an element and make it all sparkly and bright. You might also put this on cymbal tracks or who knows what. Point being, we can make that quite exaggerated. And then we can also take frequency down and darken up the super highs out of it. Oh. And there we are. We have got a little hat track that is perfectly fine for what it is. And without SlewSonic, we just started out with this. So if that seems like that'll be useful to you, hey, enjoy. These plugins are all Patreon supported. That's how I do all of this work. Some of this work I've done before I was really doing that, but you know, I live stream on Mondays and do various things. I've been making a kick drum synthesizer plugin, and that's what I've been doing on Mondays these days. But I could do video game programming or something if you wanted. And I will catch you folks later. I hope you like my other videos, and thanks. Talk to you later. I'm going to return to